Hey guys, happy new year and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnice Nicole. I'm an acrylic painter, and today I figured would be a great time to show you the messy sketch process for all of my paintings. This is going to be part one of this massive painting right here, which I definitely need to finish because I just got a 48 by 48 size canvas, which if you did not see, there is everything I got for Christmas that's technically art related. This painting, I figured I would show you the messy stage, the kind of working out of the concepts and kind of landing where we would go somewhere, because right now I'm calling this tentatively in my head Exhibition Day. Exhibition Day. It falls in line to my black opera painting that you can kind of see here, which is called Opening Night. But here it is if you want the full thing. And I'll link it up for you as well. But Opening Night was the soloist, her first stage performance, and it was like about everyone who was going to be enjoying that experience. The soloist who was performing on stage, getting ready before the event, the musicians, the audience members, the shadow figures, the whole thing. Opening night. It's chaotic, it's a lot, it's music, and it's glitz and glam from the audience dressing up, and it's just a moment, and it's something captured, which is just my theme of painting. I love to capture these moments. And so this is Exhibition Day, and it's clearly, I hope it's clear. Actually, I'll bring you closer. This is Exhibition Day, at least in its current form. As I said, these paintings, especially with me, they tend to evolve over time. But this landed here. But this is not where it started. I had this canvas turned upside down because the original theme was to paint something that was a winter ball or winter-esque or like champagne end of year. Like, I had so many fun reference photos, which I guess I'll insert here for you. I was thinking of a winter ball, like that was like celebration. That was the theme I had. But then I got sick in December, and when you're sick in your painting, that's kind of like a bad idea. Lesson learned. Take this advice from me. When you're not feeling your best, when you're not in the headspace, when things aren't going well, try to avoid painting big projects because it won't end up how you want it to. But you know what? I don't hate this. I really like certain figures. I like this girl with her clipboard, if you can see her, and her horn yelling out instructions. I like these characters here. The one guy in the middle leaning down, picking up paintings, this guy putting them on a wall. These two figures I'm not quite sure about at all at this point, and that's okay. We can always paint over them. Like, she feels like she has no purpose, so I'm not sure if I'll keep her painted in as the sketch. And then she just feels disproportionate as far as the scale of the painting and just the awkwardness. I don't know if she feels like she's actually close to the wall. So those are things I need to work on. I'm self-taught. I've never really sat down and taken a diligent drawing class, so sometimes I struggle with perspective, but at least now I'm finding that 6-7 years in my painting journey, I'm identifying the things that don't seem to fit in scale. So that's a plus for me. So we're going back to the beginning. We're going to see how I started off this canvas with all my hopes and dreams and how it evolved into this messy sketch that you're seeing right here. So I started off with this kind of cool tone red background because I love to see my background peeking through. Like, I love to see like those colors shining through the background. It gives it a little bit more of a layered look and a lot more energy. And I did put in the initial sketch, which was like staircases and that chair right there that you can see, but I hated it after I got back to painting after I was sick, and so I covered it up. Sometimes when you step away from a canvas for a long time, it's like you come back to it and you don't even recognize it. That happened to me. So it did have the benefit of more added layers and, again, more vibrancy. I'm always a fan of more color, more vibrant looks and
pulling through on the canvas. It gave me a chance to blend more colors in and get more red tones in, and I think it's going to end up being very beneficial overall. And then once all of this was covered up, I was finally able to put in my initial sketch ideas, which no longer was that kind of winter ball New Year's Eve thing, because at this point I was completely past the idea. You have the benefit of going back to it eventually, but like sometimes you just have to step away from that. That brings us into the sketching portion for where we are actually at, the messy sketch part where I'm putting in the characters. And I love having a character moment. I just always do. And there's something about just putting the idea in and like getting those figures to kind of start to tell the story. So good. Now, struggling with proportion, always. And there's definitely more to come. But let me go ahead and just give you guys my final thoughts on this one right here.
So yeah, quite the journey. We kind of just went out of scale. You see that with that original sketch, I came to the point where I was like, something isn't working. And one of the tips I love to give to other artists is like, when your painting is not working but you don't know why, take a break from it, of course, but also change your perspective. A lot of times I will stare at the painting from the other side of the room, in another room entirely. I will put my painting against this back wall, against this window, and then I have this doorway right here that leads all the way into my living room, and I stand at the farthest wall to kind of give me like some space so I can sit back and stare at it and be like, something's not right with this. And kind of contemplate it from a distance. Distance is your friend when you're struggling with a painting concept and idea. A lot of times I will take a week off and work on something different. That's always helpful. And a lot of times I will be like, you know what are the elements that I like? I do still like the winter ball theme. I do like the celebration theme. I like the idea of glitz and glam and a celebration and the celebration of the end of the year, but it's kind of warped now. Now, the balls and the gowns and the celebrations, I think those are all things that are going to be painted in these little windows. These frames will have pictures and paintings in them. Although I think it would be significant, and it's an idea that I'm playing with, that I leave the painting frames blank in a abstracted, or I play with painting concepts that I haven't painted before. And so two mind frames when I'm thinking about this. These picture frames are empty. I definitely want to do the most with them. I want them to be different elements of the painting and give it different life. And it's a great way to kind of test out painting styles that I don't actually normally paint. They're on small scale. Like some of these are no bigger than like this, you know. It's nice, and it will give me something easy to test out different styles. I could do a different style to every single painting, or I could do some of my favorite pieces and recreate them. That's an idea. But I think the one that's also very interesting, because it's very dark and moody, is leaving these canvases frames empty, just leaving the wall to show through. I kind of like how the wall is showing through, and then imagine these just gilded big frames and they're completely empty. This is exhibition day. Where's the art that's on display? Taking away the art, and again, excuse me if I sound pretentious, but taking away the art from the frames, it almost makes it feel like I'm now indicating the painting is the art, which it is, because this is a painting, and mind blown. I'm sorry, but that's the kind of thing my kind of mind kind of thinks about, you know? So anyway, I'm still contemplating on that, and I guess you'll just have to come back for part 2 to see what I actually end up doing with these frames. But for now, that was the journey that I went on, and as you can see, it's messy. I like to get my ideas out raw on the canvas. One, because have a little bit of ADHD where that I will forget things. I'm so forgetful. I will not memorize things, or they will shift and evolve in my head way too quickly because my mind is racing. And so if I don't get something down on the canvas in the most natural state and blueprint that I can, just organically out on a canvas, I may forget the idea entirely, and I hate that. I think I hate when that happens. And so it's reasons like that why my painting concepting process is so chaotic. I need to get everything out on the canvas in the easiest way possible. None of this is correct. And it's not very readable if you're not familiar with my work at all, or with my brush strokes, because those brush strokes are intentional. Even the like messiness of it all. Like, I turned this upside down so that that staircase is gone, but you can still kind of see it. And that wasn't just me being lazy that I put like a lighter glaze on top of it. I wanted that staircase to kind of shine through, because this is how I imagine the lighting will go. The lighting will be coming down from this wall. And I thought that was a good opportunity for that to just be a lighting moment. Like, but if you're just looking at it, it just looks like something was painted over. And that's not just the intention. There's more to it than that. And my eyes see it when I see the canvas. So very wordy concepting. And if you're still here, power to you. But yeah, this is my messy sketch and how I'm starting 2023 with this massive canvas to work on, and then another massive canvas to work on. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But anyway, my name is Marnice Nicole. This has been part 1 of developing this painting with the first stage, my messy sketch stage. The next stage is the color layer and the shadows. I like to put my lights, shadows, and major colors in the next stage, because I know they're gonna change. But again, I'm building a blueprint. That's how I work. I'm knitting together all these ideas into one canvas. And I feel like the more layers that you give a work and the more stages you give it, the more magical the piece ends up coming. Like, it feels almost alive, like you give it depth the more layers and layers and layers of paint and like work you put on top of it. So next will be the major shadows. I put in some just to kind of test it out, and again, like I said, I want the lighting to kind of come this way, which puts this in shadow, and you know, it just does a lot. So it's fun. It's fun. Anyway, this has been my process. My name is Marnice Nicole. I'm an acrylic painter, and I am out. Bye.